Hello students. So once again for class 11th another video, second video actually of Ranga's marriage from Snapshot. In first video we have read how this narrator feels that Ranga should get married at the earliest because he will be a service to society that way. But Ranga has very clearly told that he wants to get married to a mature girl, and secondly the girl he would choose. But still the narrator is thinking something which he could do so that Ranga would get married soon. So now page number 19, last para. Ramarao's niece, a pretty girl of 11, had come to stay with him. She was from a big town, so she knew how to play the veena and the harmonium. She also had a sweet voice. I have told in the previous video that in that village, girls' marriageable age was maybe 11, 12, 13, and for boys 14, 15. So this girl was 11-year-old and she knew the music, okay, the harmonium, and means instrumental music, and she was a good singer also. Her parents had died and her uncle had brought her home. Ranga was just a boy for her. This is what the narrator now thought, that maybe they both will be a good couple, and she the most suitable bride for him. Since I was a frequent visitor to Ramarao's place, the girl was quite free with me. I completely forgot to mention her name, Ratna. This girl's name was Ratna. It was. The very next morning I went to their house and told Ramarao's wife, I will send some buttermilk for you. Ask Ratna to fetch it. So on some pretext actually he wanted Ratna to come to his home. So this is how he was now planning a meeting between Ranga and Ratna. Ratna came. It was a Friday, so she was wearing a grand sari. I told her to sit in my room. Now what is the importance of Friday? Actually in Hindu families, Fridays are taken as very auspicious day because they, these Hindu girls and ladies, they worship Durga. Okay, so that's why she was maybe wearing grand sari. I told her to sit in my room and requested her to sing a song. I sent for Ranga. While she was singing the song Krishnamurti in front of my eyes, so she was singing a bhajan, religious song, Ranga reached the door. And on the other hand, he sent message to Ranga also to come to his home, and Ranga did not know the plan, so he came. He stopped at the threshold. He did not want the singing to stop, but was curious to see the singer. Now when he came from the outside of the house only, he heard somebody singing a very sweet bhajan, a religious song. So he did not want to disturb it, so he stopped at the threshold only, but he was curious to see the singer also, that's why he peeped in. Carefully he peeped in. The light coming into the room was blocked. Ratna looked up and seeing a stranger there abruptly stopped. Suppose you buy the best quality mango, you eat it slowly, severing its peel before biting into the juicy flesh. You do not want to waste any part of it. Before you take another bite, the fruit slips out of your hand and falls to the ground. How do you feel? Ranga's face showed the same disappointment when the singing stopped. He has now given example of this mango, that if you are so fond of mango, you don't want to eat it quickly. You want to enjoy each and every bite of the mango. And for that, what you do? First of all, you eat the peel. You don't want to waste any part of the mango. You eat the peel. And now you you start with the mango. Okay, full of, we can say, juicy mango. And suppose you take just one bite and the mango slips down from your hand. How you would feel? Very disappointed. He said same thing happened with Ranga. because at least outside the house when he was standing, he was able to hear the sweet voice. But when he tried to peep in, the girl stopped. Okay, he could not even see the girl properly. On the other hand, he was not able to hear the sweet voice also because she stopped. You sent for me? He asked as he came in and sat on the chair. Ratna stood at a distance, her head lowered. Ranga repeatedly glanced at her. Once her eyes met, and he looked very embarrassed. No one spoke for a long while. It was my coming in that stopped the singing. Let me leave. Now Ranga said, sorry, I disturbed you. Because of me only, she stopped singing. Words, mere words. The fellow said he would leave, but did not make a move. How can one expect words to match actions in those days of Kali Yuga? Ratna ran inside, overcome by shyness. After a while, Ranga asked, who is that girl, Swami? So he said, I think I should leave because I disturbed you, but he did not leave. Ratna but ran away from the room. And when she went away, Ranga now was curious to know about the girl. He asked, who is that girl? Like the he-goat, he said, what does it matter to either of us who she is? I am already married and you are in the marrying kind. Narrator said, why you are asking? I think it is not important for either of us because I am already married and you don't want to get married. Then why you are interested to know about this girl? Very hopefully he asked, she isn't married then? His voice did not betray his excitement, but I knew it was there. So there was a kind of excitement when he said that it means she's not married. Okay, she was married a year ago, deliberately, just to see the reaction on Ranga's face. He said, no, this girl is also married. Last year only she got married. His face shivered like a roasted brinjal. After a while, Ranga left saying, I must go, I have a work at home. So Ranga was disappointed when he got to know that the girl is already married, though the narrator had deliberately said so. He wanted to see the reactions. I went to our Shastri the next morning and told him, keep everything ready to read the stars. I will come later. I tutored him in all that I wanted him to say. And next morning, he went to the village Shastri. Okay, and he told him certain things. He tutored him, means he told him what he would be asking and what the Shastri is supposed to answer. And he said, I will come again with somebody and this is how I will be putting the question and this is how you will answer me. I found no change in Ranga when I met him that afternoon. What's the matter? You seem to be lost in thought, I asked. I said. He said, then afterwards I went to Ranga. I met him. I said, you are looking lost. What happened? Nothing is wrong, believe me. Headache? Come, let's go and see a doctor. Deliberately he said, no, something is wrong. Is it headache? Let's come and see the doctor. But Ranga said, I have no headache. I'm my usual self. He said, I'm okay. No headache. I went through the same thing when the process of choosing a girl for me was going on. But I don't think that could be a reason for your present condition. He said, actually, sometimes it happens that we have no fever, no headache. Even then, we are lost somewhere. He said, this happened to me when my parents were choosing a girl, were searching for a girl for me. At that time, I was really anxious. But this is not the case with you. You are not anxious for marriage. Then why? You are lost. Ranga stared at me. Come, let's go and see Shastri, I suggested. We will find out whether Guru and Shani are favorable for you or not. He said, if there is no fever, no headache, even then there must be something. I think Shastri can tell. Okay, he is a maybe better person to inquire about this thing. So let's go to Shastri and we will inquire about your condition. Ranga accompanied me without any protest. He said, maybe Ranga was very educated person. He could have said, no, I don't believe in all these Shastras, but he did not say anything. He came with me, accompanied me without protest. As soon as Shastri saw me, he exclaimed, what a surprise, Shyama. Haven't seen you for a long time. Shyama is none other than your servant, the narrator of this tale. So Shyama is name of this narrator. So the Shastri, when he saw these two people, he said, oh my God, Shyama, after so many days you have come. I got angry and shouted, what? Only this morning. Shastri completed my sentence. You finished all your work and are free to visit me. Had he not done so, I would have ruined our plan by bursting like grains that are kept in the sun to dry. I was extremely careful of that, I said afterwards. What happened? Actually, he said, this is what actually Shastri was tutored, that you are to show that you haven't met me in the morning. That's why when he said that after so many days, actually narrator at this point he forgot what he had tutored. He said, what? So many days? This morning only. And Shastri got to realize that he has forgotten. That's why he completed. He said, okay, you mean to say this morning only you completed your work and now you have got some time to meet me? Good, good, good. And now only narrator understood that he was about to spoil the plan. But he said, afterwards, I was very careful. Shastri turned to Ranga, and after that Shastri looked at Ranga and he started talking to Ranga. He said, when did the young son of our accountant clerk come home? What can I do for him? It's very rarely that he visits us. Take out your paraphernalia. Our Rangappa seems to have something on his mind. Can you tell us what's worrying him? Shall we put your science of astrology to the test? Now narrator told Shastri, he said, actually, something is disturbing Ranga. Even Ranga doesn't know. Okay, what is the problem? But he is feeling some uneasiness. So we just want that if you can tell through your Shastras, reading the stars and everything, if you can tell what is bothering Ranga. He said, that's why we have come to you. There was authority in my voice as I spoke to Shastri. He took out 2 sheets of paper, some kavaris, means some shells, and a book of palmyra leaves, saying, ours is an ancient science, Aya, there's a story to it, but I won't tell you that story. Now, these Shastris, they are having so many things, some books, or some kavaris, or some other things, which they place at some places, and they will be drawing something, and then they will be trying to calculate the stars and everything. Okay, so all these things he took out from his, we can say, from the box, and then he started writing down and then doing the calculations. And he said, I will not tell you about the long story about these leaves and how this Shastra started, but definitely I am here to tell you what is bothering Ranga. This is not a Harikatha which allows you to tell a story within a story. You may get bored. I will tell it to you some other time. Shastri moved his lips as fast as he counted on his fingers. This is how actually Shastris or these Pandits, they do. So he started counting something on his fingers and then suddenly asked, what's your star? Ranga didn't know. Never mind. Shastri indicated with a shake of his head. He did some more calculations before saying in a serious tone, it's about a girl. Actually, this is what sometimes Shastris do. These people do. They will ask about your date of birth, the time of the birth and the place. And if you say, I do not know anything, even then they will say, no worry, no worry. We can read your face and we can calculate even without those things. So this is what Shastri was doing. He said, don't worry, even without that, I can tell you. And then he calculated something again and he said, yes, there is some girl. Okay, you're thinking about a girl. Okay. I had been controlling my laughter all this while, but now I burst out laughing. I turned to Ranga exactly what I had said. He turned to Ranga, he said, Ranga, this is what even I was expecting. Now see, this calculation also says you are thinking about the girl. Who's the girl? It is your humble servant who asked the question. Then again the narrator, he turned to Shastri, he said, okay, can you do some more calculation if you can tell about the girl also? Shastri thought for a while before replying. She probably has the name of something found in the ocean. Shastri said, okay, this much calculation I have already done. I can tell you the name, but not exact name, but something which you find in ocean, means something related to ocean. That word is there as far as name of the girl is concerned. Kamla, maybe. Could it be Pachi? Moss? Must it be Moss if it's not Kamla? Why not Pearl? Okay, actually pearl is also found in the ocean. The precious stone, Ratna, the girl in Ramara's house. He said, yes, pearl is in Hindi Ratna. Oh my God. So it means he's thinking about the girl. Yes, that girl, Ramarao's house. Okay, niece, tell me, is there any chance of our negotiations bearing fruit? And then he asked from Shastriji, can you tell me one more thing? Is there any chances that they both can get married? There was surprise on Ranga's face and some happiness. I noticed it. But the girl is married, I said. Then I turned to him. Now, what he said, definitely. Actually, Shastri calculated again and he said, yes, yes, definitely. There are chances they can get married. But deliberately again, narrator said, but the girl is married. I said. Then he turned to him. His face had fallen. I don't know all that. There may be some other girl who is suitable. I only told you what our Shastra indicated. Shastri said. Shastri said that I don't know. If you say girl is married, then maybe this is not the girl. It must be some other girl. I am not saying this is Rangarao's niece only. I just indicated the name. No, it could be some other girl also. We left the place. On the way, we passed by Ramarao's house. Naturally, Ranga was very, we can say, sad also because he was really now thinking about the girl, this Ratna only, but Ratna is married. So we left the place. On the way, we passed by Ramarao's house. Ratna was standing at the door. I went in alone and came out in a minute. Surprising, this girl isn't married, it seems. Someone told me the other day that she was. Now, he wanted that this boy should not feel sad anymore. That's why he went into the house of Ramarao and in a minute came back and said, oh my God, good news, this girl isn't married. I don't know who told me. Somebody told me that the girl is married. But yes, this is good news that the girl is unmarried. I can't believe that you have been thinking of her. Swear on the name of Madhacharya and tell me, is it true what Shastri said? And now he said, Ranga, really you were thinking about this girl? Because you were thinking of marrying at later age and then also a mature girl. But is it true that you were thinking about this girl only? My God, what a marvelous Shastra we have. This Shastra, this calculation told everything. I do not know whether anyone else would have been direct, Ranga admitted. There's a greater truth in that Shastra than we imagine. What he said is absolutely true. Then he said, yes, I must admit that whatever that Shastri ji calculated, it is absolutely true. I was really thinking about this girl only. Shastri was at the well when I went there, and that evening I said, so Shastri Gail, you repeated everything I had taught you without giving rise to any suspicion. What a marvelous Shastra yours is. He didn't like it at all. Now in the evening they again met. This narrator met Shastri. He said, wow Shastri ji, whatever I had tutored, without any mistake, you did the same. Wow, wow. Because Ranga is thinking that your Shastra is marvelous. Okay, he doesn't know that you were tutored. But Shastri said, no, if you had not tutored me even then, our Shastra is so great that I could have known everything even without your hint. What are you saying? What you said to me was what I could have found out myself from the Shastras. Don't forget, I developed on the hints you had given me. Tell me, is this what a decent man says? Now, time gap. Okay, so this thing is over, story is over. Ranga admitted that yes, he was thinking about Ratna only, though Ratna is only 11-year-old girl. She is not mature even then. Ranga fell into, we can say, fell for her. Okay, maybe it was love at first sight. Now there is time gap, and time gap shows that Ranga and Ratna are married now. Not only married, they have 3-year-old child also, and now Ratna is expecting for the second child. Rangappa had come the other day to invite me for dinner. What's the occasion? I asked. It's Shama's birthday. He's 3. It's not a nice name, Shama, I said. I'm like a dark piece of oil cake. Why did you have to give that golden child of yours such a name? What a childish couple you are, Ratna and you. Now actually Ranga had come to invite this narrator on his son's birthday because he was going to be 3. And then he told the name also, Shama. And narrator said, oh my God, you have given this name to Shama just after my name because you wanted to give me that respect. That's why you have given my name to your son. You are a childish couple. I know. it is the English custom of naming the child after someone you like. Your wife is 8 months pregnant now. Who is there to help your mother to cook? My sister has come with her. I went there for dinner. Shama rushed to me when I walked in and put his arms round my legs. I kissed him on his cheek and placed a ring on his tiny little finger. This is birthday present. Allow me to take leave of you, reader. I'm always here, ready to serve you. You were not bored, I hope. So this is the ending of the story, that they became, you can say, very good couple, happy couple. Okay, so this is the story, in very simple story. Okay, but even then, we get to know that sometime what we think, our thoughts do not match our actions. So this is what Ranga was. Okay, but this is simple story. Even then, you can expect a very good deal of questions from this chapter. So when you are watching these two videos, please keep your book and your pen in your hand so that you can underline the important points and you can write down if you want to write down something. Next video with next chapter. See you soon. Thank you.